Okay.
Do you see my Visual Studio Code screen?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Okay. So this here is a
Mm-hmm.
sequential data set. It contains nothing but text data. However, this COBOL data set is a partitioned data set, and it
Mm-hmm.
has individual members that
Mm-hmm.
that actually hold data themselves. So if you try to create a member inside a sequential data set, that's not going to work. You can only
Yeah.
create members inside partitioned data sets.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to create a new member in my COBOL data set, I'd give it a name. I'll just call it new program. You're limited to 8 characters there.
Yeah.
And your Visual Studio Code goes ahead and opens an editor for you. And here's new program down here. It's currently empty.
Yeah.
And you can type whatever you want to in here. It's just like any other text file.
Mm.
Except Visual Studio Code is complaining because I've opened it up in a COBOL data set. So it's assuming it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be a COBOL program.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what kind of errors in particular were you having?
It seems to be working for now, but I don't know what. Can't remember. It's just giving me an error, like it can't create.
Ah,
Or maybe just as you say, maybe sometimes Visual Studio Code sometimes just has to catch up a bit. So
yeah, maybe it needed to
yeah,
refresh or update from the mainframe.
yeah, yeah.
That could have been it.
Okay. And what about the load data set?
Ah, so the load data set is special.
Mm-hmm.
All the other data sets are basically text that you
Mm-hmm.
can read with your eyes.
Yeah.
The load data set is actually compiled executable code, binary data.
Mm. Okay.
So if you try to open one of these in Visual Studio Code, it's
Yeah.
going to complain
Aha. I get it.
because it's not text, it's binary data.
Mm.
For instance, let me switch over to my terminal here. Exact same machine, just a different way of interfacing with it.
Mm-hmm.
So the Fibonacci extended COBOL source code is actually plain text.
Mm-hmm.
But if I go into my load data set and try to look up the Fibonacci extended member
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right here, it's actually going to show me the binary machine language that the processor executes.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, I think you showed me.
so you're actually looking at binary data that Visual Studio
Mm-hmm.
Code cannot interpret and display for you.
Mm-hmm.
But this is actual code that the processor executes.
Yeah.
It's actually created by the compiler and the linker.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I showed you this the other day in the Unix side of
Mm-hmm.
things.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a little binary folder here. So where did I put it? And I've actually renamed it Fibonacci long. That's the actual Fibonacci extended program. And you can copy members of your load data set over to your Unix system services and run those programs interactively.
Wow.
So say I wanted to add 2 numbers. This is the add amount program from the COBOL programming course. Enter your name up to 15 characters. Let's give it your name. Enter the amount of the first purchase. I've got to turn on numlock here. It's probably going to complain. Second purchase. Third purchase. Oh, it didn't complain too badly. Let's give it more data. Enter name. First purchase. Second purchase. Third purchase. There we go. So you can actually run it interactively rather than plugging the data into JCL.
So if I want to run it interactively like this in Visual Studio Code, I have to use a terminal that you showed me on the other side?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oops. Unix does not like capital letters.
Oh.
But yeah, any other questions?
Oh, wow, I think that's it for now. It's really, we should do this again. I enjoyed it.
Yep.
I think it's better, like I'm really learning much more faster and just getting a whole lot of more understanding just by watching you do it. So